Hey everybody, Rachel Brooks here from Team Follow Your Arrow. I wanted to make this video today about the top 3 mistakes that I made in my first month of coaching. So hopefully you guys can listen to this and get some alternatives and not make the same mistakes that I made. So probably the number one mistake that I made was just taking things too personally. So I would message a lot of people and then just get really discouraged when somebody didn't answer my Facebook message, or I sent them an invite, they said they were interested in something, and then they just like never get back to me after I've messaged them like 3 times. This can be super disheartening, I think, especially when you're a new coach, but something to remember is those people are always watching you. I've had a lot of people that were completely like silent when I messaged them on Facebook, even just simple things like, hey, how are you? Like, they never answer. And then, like, 2 months later, like, they randomly will come out of the woodwork and be like, hey, I've seen your posts. What are you doing? I'm really interested in this whole Beachbody thing or in doing a challenge group. So don't take it personally when people don't answer you. Sometimes they're just busy. Some people check Facebook once a day. Some people check it all day, every day. Some people check it once a month. So don't like freak out and think that somebody hates you because they didn't answer you. 90% of the time they just forgot. Half the time it's one of those things like, oh, I typed a text message to send you back and then I forgot to press send. So don't take it personally. Don't get super discouraged and be like, oh, I don't want to do this because nobody ever answers me, because usually they'll answer you eventually. And sometimes even if they don't message you back and then you send them a different message, they'll respond. So that leads me into my second biggest mistake that I made as a coach. My second biggest mistake was like really sending non-personal messages. So I would just send these like mass messages like, hey, I'm a new Beachbody coach. I run these monthly groups. Is that something that you would be interested in? Like, not really getting to know them at all. So when I sent those messages, a lot of them went unresponded, right? Because they were kind of junk. And what I learned later on is I could message some of those same people and literally just write, hey, how's your day? Or, hey, how's your new job? Or your wedding? Or these pictures? Or just ask them about something on their Facebook wall. And then they respond to you in an hour. So it's really just like, you need to make it about them. Ask them about their life and how things are going before you just like blurt out, oh, hey, I'm running these groups. Like, it's really best if you get to know people for like a month or so before you start inviting them to groups, which is hard your first month of coaching. But you got to remember, your first month of coaching, you're really just going to be inviting close friends and family to join you while you're planting seeds the first month. You're getting to know people. You're starting to reach out to people in your Facebook network. You're starting to share your story on Facebook. You can't expect before you even share your story on Facebook that people are going to want to join you, because they're going to be like, what the heck is this that you're doing? You have to have some kind of story for yourself first so that they trust you and say, hey, this worked for them. Maybe this will work for me, kind of a situation. So that leads me into my third biggest mistake as a coach, which was word vomiting on people. So the second somebody had any interest in Beachbody or any interest in what I was doing, I would send them like a giantly long message about every single thing involved in a challenge group, or a video saying every single thing involved in a challenge group and every single Beachbody program and every single Shakeology flavor and all the recipes that I was going to give them and all this stuff. And it's just totally overwhelming. That did not work for me. Better approach is, as soon as somebody says, yeah, I'm interested in that, just follow it up with like 1 or 2 questions. Like, oh, well, what are your health and fitness goals? Like, what do you want to get out of this? What's your favorite kind of exercise? What exercises worked for you in the past? Or what diets have worked for you in the past? Why are you frustrated, and why have things not worked for you in the past? So just work on like asking little questions like that to kind of get to know where they want to go before you just say, hey, here's 50 different workouts that you can choose from. Like, that's overwhelming. They don't want that. Like, they're working with you for you to recommend things to them. So you need to take a step back, not get so excited, even though I know it's exciting when somebody finally said yes, they're interested, because you're going to get like 40 no's sometimes before you get 1 yes. So just be prepared for that. But like I said, sometimes people take a long time to get acclimated to the idea, and they like watching what you're doing first. So some people will jump on board later on a few months down the road. You can't expect them to just join you your first month when you haven't even had a good story yet. Okay, so those are my top 3 mistakes that I made my first month of coaching, and I don't want you guys to make them either. So again, that is, don't word vomit on people when they say that they're interested, or don't send out mass messages that are all really generic and impersonal, because then you come off as sounding salesy and people can see right through it. And then the first one was, don't take things personally. Okay, not everybody's going to be ready. No doesn't always mean no. Sometimes it just means not right now. And you just have to remember that. Like, think about how much courage and how much motivation it takes to make a big impact on your health. Like, when you're ready to do like a big, intense clean up your life diet or clean up your life moment or a detox, you don't just like jump into a detox because the day before somebody said, hey, do this detox with me. Usually, like, it's in your mind for a while, you're planning for a while, you're waiting till that moment where you're like, okay, I'm motivated, I'm in a good place where I'm ready to put the time, money, and effort into this right now. So you have to remember that every person that you contact, they have other stuff going on in their lives. It's not always going to be their time to put their money, time, and effort into their health. You want it to be. I want it to be. I want the best for everybody. But you just have to be real with yourself and say, like, it's not that time for everybody. So just keep them in the back of your mind, keep being friendly, keep getting to know them, keep connecting, and then maybe you'll get to that point where it's their time eventually. Okay, so those are my top 3 mistakes. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Keep this in mind for the future, and if you want more information ever, please email teamfollowyourarrow@gmail.com. Thanks.